This video we're going to practice with some federal debt and some consumer price index problems. So I do recommend that you might want to try these on your own and then come back and see how they're done, just to kind of check your own progress. So number one, at the end of 2012, the federal debt totaled $16.1 trillion. And in part A, we're going to compute the federal debt per capita with a population of 314 million. Remember, per means division. So we're going to take that federal debt, that 16.1 trillion, trillion means 12, and we're going to put that over the number of people we have, which is 314 million means 6. Now I'm going to just leave it like it is, and I'm going to divide my first numbers. 16.1 divided by 314 gives me 0.05127,38854. 12 minus 6 gives me times 10 to the 6th. Now this tells me to take my decimal point, move it 6 places to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm at $51,273.89 rounded to the nearest penny. So in 2012, the federal debt per capita, every person in the U.S. would have to pay $51,273.89 in order to pay off the U.S. debt. That's a lot. So in part B, how does that compare to the U.S. per capita income? Well, this is how much you owe per person. So this is what you owe. This is what you have coming in. So basically the difference is like, $8,500 or something. And the difference is in terms of deficit. So even if every person in America would take the money that they have coming in, because this is like average, so this is everybody. Everybody's got $42,693 coming in, but for the federal debt per capita, we've all got $51,273.89 going out, meaning there's no possible way to pay off the federal debt at one time. And that's 2012. We all know that it's grown since then. So crazy. Let's go to CPI. Use the CPI table from this section and find the annual value for 2015. Hopefully you find it's at the top, 237.017. So that means a basket of goods in 1983, which was about $100, is now costing about $237. So that's what it means. We're giving this general basket of goods, and that's how much it's gone up. Now, if you refer back to the CPI table, right, in 1983 is our reference because that's when it's about 100. So the question here says, how many years after 1983 did it take for the values to go up by half? Well, if you're thinking about by half, if it's 100 and it goes up by half, we are looking for 150. And it hits 150 in 1994, which is roughly 11 years later. All right, that's just kind of using the table and recognizing what you're seeing. All right, let's play a little bit. So now we're broken down. So that other table we had was just the annuals, as you will see here. This has it broken down by months. Okay, and this here, number 3, just to kind of give you a look at this. You can see that starting here, actually starting in June, it goes down a little bit. Oh, and then it went back up. Sorry, went down, goes back up, then it went down again. Then at the beginning of 2015, it goes up, 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 and it peaks in July, and then it goes back down. Not much, but a little. So we do have these peaks and valleys where it kind of seems like it goes up at the beginning of the year and then it goes down at the end of the year. I'm not sure why, but it's just something to kind of keep in mind that, prices do fluctuate a little bit. All right. In number 4, the median value of houses sold in the state of Indiana in 2011 was $130,000 approximately. What was the comparable median house value in 1995? Assuming that the housing market follows inflation. Because remember, CPI is all about inflation. If prices work faster or slower than inflation, you can't really use CPI to predict. So we have to assume, or we have to hope that it goes with inflation. So we are comparing 2011 to 1995, and we are using CPI because we are hoping that it follows inflation. So in 2011, the cost of the house was $130,000. And in 2011, if you go back to that original CPI chart, we see that in 2011, we have a CPI of 224,939. Now we're trying to find the value in 1995, so that's our unknown value of X, and our CPI is 152.4. I cross multiply and divide in my proportional work, and I get an answer of $88,077.21. So in 1995, a comparable house would have been just over $88,000. Let's do another one. If a house in the suburbs of Indianapolis was worth $77,500 in 1986, what would that equate to in March 2016? So we're looking, if it just gives you the year, and in this case 1986, then for the CPI we want to use the annual value, which we know to be 109.6. And the dollar amount was $77,500. And we are now looking at March 2016. Well, in March, we don't know what the price was, but in that extra table, March 2016 is 238.132. So you can go by months, and if you're going to use a particular month, it's going to tell you March of a certain year. But again, we cross multiply, use our proportion, and in March of 2016, that same house would be worth $168,000, $387.14. So that's, when your investment really pays off because it more than doubled in 30 years. So super crazy, super crazy.